I've known him since about my senior year of high school, which is 2009. I graduated from Ringe as well, and I became acquainted with him just hanging around the neighborhood and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Just regular college kids, high school kid stuff, just hanging around. We used to talk about sports and stuff like that. He was really passive, really a normal kid. Like I said, we used to make a lot of jokes when we hang around. We're like the type of guys who crack jokes, and he wouldn't even like make a joke about people because it seemed like he was just didn't have a malicious bone in his body. You know what I mean? So when I heard the news, I saw the pictures. I thought it was him. I even joked around with my friends, regrettably saying that it looks like him, and we kind of made a couple jokes about it. But when the name released, it actually became very real, and it was actually pretty shocking to us because we didn't think that he would be anywhere near capable of something like this.
How long did it take you to figure out then when you saw those images come out yesterday for the first time of him and also his brother as well in the black cat? I mean, did it trigger right away, or take some time to just talk to some people and maybe think back, because you hadn't seen him in about a year, right?
Yeah, I hadn't seen him in about a year, so he obviously has a little bit more facial hair now. So when I looked at the picture, it looks like him a lot, but to be honest with you, he's such a good kid from my perspective that I even joked about it because I didn't think that it would be possible that it was actually him. You know what I mean? If I had an inkling that maybe it would have been him, I maybe wouldn't have made the joke. You know what I mean? So I saw the images, I joked around about it last night, and then this morning when I woke up and they released his name and I saw that it actually was him, that's when I realized that it was him.
What name did you know him by? Because it seems as though some people had a nickname for him, a different name. What did you call him?
I think that his first name, I don't know, we called him Jahar. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't know if that's just the way that his first name is pronounced, but that's what we used to call him, yeah, Jahar.
And we're just a couple of blocks from where he lives, correct?
Yeah, I believe he lived around the corner, yeah, on Norfolk Street, and we're like a block away from that.
So had you ever been to his home before when his parents were home? Did you ever have the opportunity to meet his parents whenever you guys were hanging out?
Yeah, see, no, I wasn't that close with him. Like I said, I never hung out with him one-on-one or spent any time with him one-on-one, never got into a conversation about like his personal beliefs or anything really close to that. So no, I didn't really and I didn't know how his family life or anything like that was, and his home life at all.
Talk to me a little about his personality in high school, because obviously there's a ton of activities that people can get involved in there. Was he involved in those activities? If so, what they were, and maybe just an understanding of who this person was?
I mean, to be honest with you, the best description I can give of who this person was is a good, normal kid who didn't want to harm anybody. He was a wrestler. He wrestled for Cambridge. I think he played some soccer too. He went to the gym, worked out a lot, did a lot of boxing and stuff like that. So he was a really nice guy. You know what I mean? So if the image I want to put out of what I thought of him and like any signs that I just want to say, like, any signs of him doing something like this, I definitely couldn't pick up on. For sure.
Had you ever met his brother before?
I never met his brother, no.
Did he ever talk about his brother, ever make mention of a brother that he had, or any other family members that he had?
No, he never really talked about his brother or his sister. I knew that he had a brother, but I never heard him mention his brother himself, no.
And was he friendly with other people in the neighborhood here, or did he just have friends from high school? Is there anyone else within the Cambridge area that you knew that he hung out with?
Yeah, see, that's the funny thing. Like, I'm definitely not the only person who will be able to give you this interview. You know what I mean? There's a lot of kids who he was friends with. He was really a sociable guy. You know what I mean? He wasn't a loner or anything like that. He had a lot of people that he was friends with. So there's a lot of people just like me who are really surprised with this news. A lot of Cambridge kids that knew him.
Yeah, because you've sat next with him before, you've had conversations with him before, you've hung out with him before,
yeah.
Just growing up together, and all of a sudden there's images that surface of him yesterday being named a suspect in the marathon bombing. What type of reaction what was your initial reaction knowing that?
Completely mind-blowing. Like I said, I was like completely numb to it. It was so shocking that I didn't actually think that it was him. I saw the image, it looked like him, you know what I mean? Obviously it's a little pixelated and stuff like that, but in my mind it really was not a possibility that it was actually him. So when I actually found out, it still hasn't even really sunk into me. It's still kind of crazy to see all this on Cambridge Street here in Cambridge, you know what I mean? It's kind of insane for a kid that we would see around the neighborhood all the time, you know what I mean?
Give me a sense of the last year. You said you'd see him around here all the time. You got to know him growing up, but all of a sudden in the last year, you didn't hear from him. Do you remember the last time you saw him, what you guys might have been doing, conversations that you might have had?
I mean, the last time I saw him would definitely be like 8 months or plus, you know what I mean, longer. And the last conversation that we had definitely wasn't anything out of the ordinary, you know what I mean? It'd just be a normal time that we hung out like any other time.